Hey everybody, today is March the 4th. Got a nice cold morning. We're gonna try and haul this bed pack pen out because the ground is frozen. I heard someone say today's the only date with a command, March 4th. So we're gonna March 4th and clean this pen out. We cleaned this pen out back in January, and since then we've been trying kind of an experiment with a rototiller, stirring it up. We've done it about 10-12 times, I would say. I think it helped some. It did save us some bedding because there were some days we would have put bedding in and instead we just rototilled it and it seemed to stay dry for another day. It's not the handiest to come in here with the rototiller. It'd be nice if we could swing both those gates out of the way and then wouldn't have to worry about working around that post. I could rototill it right now so it would be looser to scoop out. I don't think I want to do that though because it's just gonna make it fluffy and take up more space in the spreader. It'll take more spreader loads that way. I think just keeping it packed, scooping into it's the best way. Even though I didn't till it this morning, it is softer, but just easier to scoop into it. You can see, normally there's layers. For each time you add bedding, you can kind of see layers. Definitely has a different look to it now. Seems like the fertilizer value would be better. Just has a darker look to it. It's hard to say without testing it. Definitely a lot of steam coming off of it, so that makes me think that it was composting a bit more. Just more heat building up in there. Since last time we added all these boards to these curbs, just put 2x12s. Normally we get bedding built the whole way up to up here and we'd have to clean that all out by hand. So what I'm gonna do now is load up a load and we're gonna actually pile it on the concrete down near the heifer barn. So I'm thinking there's still some bedding value in this. We like to keep it dry for these cows because they're milking. I wonder if we would pile this and then throw it in the heifer barn and rebed if we couldn't get some more value out of it, because it's pretty dry stuff. So I'm gonna take one more spreader out and then whatever's left I'm just gonna spread out on the floor. I figure we can leave a little bit to give us some padding on the bottom. My dad's getting wood shavings now. It looks a little bit different in here than it normally does after we clean out. We just left almost a full spreader load on the floor. We're just trying some things to hopefully save some bedding and increase the fertilizer value. Spend a lot on wood shavings, and if we can use a little less, that's a good thing. With the heifers in this barn down here, it's not quite as picky. You know, if we can just have something in there to help absorb the moisture a little bit, it's gonna help a lot. Now that we have them ceiling fans, I was thinking it might keep it dry enough that it'll do the job. It's worth a try anyway. I wish I had somewhere inside that I could pile it, but I don't. We're gonna just stack it on the concrete over there against that wall, and we'll have to put a piece of plastic over it. We don't want it getting rained on. We'll just do one spreader load and see how it goes. It might not work out too good. It'll be nice to run it through the spreader. It'll just aerate it, and it'll keep composting as it's sitting here. Kind of cool. It's some nice looking stuff. The other option is I could bag that stuff and sell it. Probably be pretty good for people's gardens. I'm gonna clean up this pile we had in the bunker silo, some junk silage. Hey guys, so we were hauling manure there on Friday. It's now Monday morning, and we're back at working at these gates, trying to finish this up, getting ready to install these robots tomorrow. 3 more gates to do. So the first part of this video is about 20 degrees out. Now it's up probably 60 degrees, supposed to get up into the 70s today. So that gives you an idea of what March in Pennsylvania looks like. Just gonna keep working at these gates. It's pretty much the same thing. Cut the bottom rail off. We're gonna move the second rail up a little bit. Is it legal to use DeWalt tools with Milwaukee gloves? So I got a pretty good system down by now. We're using these 1/8" thick plates just to strengthen up this end of the gate since we're losing some of that bracing. I'm able to get pretty good welds on there, and if there's some bad spots, usually there's at least some good spots I can weld to. Then I'll flip it over, do the exact same thing on the other side. Just button this together and weld them through there. And the other side, I'll put this plate on there, and it really strengthens it up good. This paint is to prevent rust, not to look pretty. I really don't care how it looks. It's gonna get covered in manure anyway. The afternoon milking is going now. One thing I want to do is just clean this back curb out. We get a little buildup of dry manure along that curb, and I'm not sure that the scraper is going to be able to push that in off the start. Once they get going, it won't build up anymore. I just thought we should scoop it out quick. It'll just be a real simple one time along the back of the barn. Fans are running now. It's up in the 70s. Once those scrapers are going, the slats are gonna look pretty much like this all the time. Actually, probably even cleaner. We are pretty much set up. We got one more gate to modify. We're gonna do that after the milking. It's pretty much the same process. Tomorrow we're planning to install these scrapers, so I'm really excited to get them going. I was just cleaning up my skid steer after I scraped the floor. Have a good one, guys. We'll see ya.